welcome to Meet the Township. I'm Tanya Gregg with ERA. Today I have with me Bud Lytle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So if you've been around Huntington sports for the last 20 years, you've seen Bud either behind the scores table or announcing games. So you've either seen or heard Bud. He's done a lot in our township in a lot of different areas, coaching and different things. But today we're going to talk with Bud about what he's doing right here in the city of Chillicothe with the First Capital Recovery Center. Thank you for joining us and giving us some information. Can you tell us what's happening?
Obviously, with the opiate epidemic that's been going on for years and now it's transitioned to some methamphetamines and some different things like that, upon my retirement from law enforcement, I decided to open a treatment center. And right now we have a facility that provides supportive housing along with the treatment piece of it. We have 8 apartments that house 40 guys. And then we also have the offices right below that. So it's kind of a different setup than a lot of places because our housing is right with our offices. Very convenient for us, but also great for the clients because as you're going through the program, you have an immediate need. We're immediately there. Right there on top of it. So we get a lot of that interaction and it creates more of a family type environment, which is what we're going after. We are a faith-based facility. So in that, having that family atmosphere is a big piece of what we do and how we do it. Obviously, we have, certified counselors, and we do those things as well with the counseling piece, but the faith piece is a big piece of what we do, a big part of what we do. Every morning, our guys go through a prayer and devotional. They do 2 Bible studies a week. The neat thing that we do that's a little different than a lot of faith-based facilities is we don't make you go to one particular church. You get to go to a church of your choosing. So our clients have a mandatory 1 church attendance a week on top of the Bible studies and things at our facility. So in that, they get to pick a church, and it can be with their family or a church they went to as a kid or their grandma or whatever the case may be. And we found that to be really effective in building relationships outside of recovery.
Right.
Which is one of the keys to success is those foundational pieces outside, those resources that you have, the people that can be there to support you.
After you leave
the facility, so building those resources while you're there is a big deal. So that's the one thing we found with the church piece and doing it that way. It's been really successful for us. So we like that. And the guys really enjoy that. They enjoy the opportunity getting to spend some time with their family sober and getting that church environment. And, some of them come to the church that I pastor. We only get 4 or 5 of them out of right now I think we have 32 guys in there. So only 4 or 5 of them go to my church, and I'm great with that. A lot of them walk across the street to a church, but a lot of them also go with their family. Their family on Sundays, you'll see their family drive in, pick them up, take them to church with them, and then go out and have lunch with them or whatever, and then bring them back.
So how does that work as far as they live in-house?
They do.
Do they have curfew set? How does that work?
We are what we call a transitional facility, right? Mm-hmm. So we're a lower level of care than, say, a residential facility where it's kind of locked down. So our guys have some freedoms with that, but they do have a curfew. It depends on what phase you're in the program. Mm-hmm. So if you're early on in the program, phase 1, phase 2s don't have a lot of freedoms. They're mostly at the office, building relationships with other guys in the program, building relationships with our counselors and our staff there. Phase 3s and phase 4s. Once you're in phase 3, you can have a car, you can have a job, you can have those pieces to put your life back together. So it's really cool. And so those guys, they have a curfew. They have to be in by a certain time. They have to, lights out is 11 o'clock every night. So you have to be back in by 9:30, spend a little time with the guys in the apartment, and then 11 o'clock is lights out. You have to go to bed at 11 o'clock, and then you start your morning, 7 o'clock every morning's wake up. So in that way, we are adding some structure to their life. Right. Because the one thing addiction doesn't have, a lot of people in active addiction, they don't have a lot of structure. They wake up when they want, go to sleep when they want, do what they want, how they want. So we kind of add some of that structure. And over time, you find that guys, we don't really have to enforce anything structure-wise. They do it themselves.
Right.
They kind of police themselves.
They like having a habit. And
absolutely.
So how does one go about getting a family member in this recovery center, or how does the process work?
We have, and in my law enforcement career, I did a lot of referrals to treatment and things like that. And some of those processes I found very tedious, very difficult, very hard to do. So we have really minimized the process. You make a call to us, and once you call us, say, hey, I got a family member, that is in active addiction. They really want to get into treatment. What we'll do is we'll ask to speak to that family member. The person that's going to be going into the program, we get some real basic information. We got a one-sheet form. It's called an initial contact form for us. And we take some very basic information about, their insurance, their addiction, their mental health. Which I'll talk about here in a moment, the mental health piece that we do as well. But, and then once we complete that form, we got an intake team that makes a decision whether they're acceptable for our program, our level of care. If they need a higher level of care, what we do is we help them get that higher level of care. We have several referrals that we can make. So if your loved one, you think they need a higher level of care than us, that's okay, call us.
Right.
We'll help you get to that. We have the connections, and we usually, some of those places hold beds for us because we refer a lot of people to them.
Right.
So we make that connection to that higher level of care, that residential piece that's more lockdown, more,
right.
And then eventually they will probably come back to us once they're at that point in their recovery.
Right.
So it's really that simple to get people to us. We have people that walk in the door every day. We're at 242 East Main Street. You walk in the door, we're going to help you.
And I'm sure there's always a great need for this facility. And I'm sure being in law enforcement, you've seen the need in Chillicothe.
The need is huge, and we understand that. And there's a lot of times we're full. Right. I mean, there's times that we're full, and so we have to do that referral to another facility, try to find someone that's not full. We always try to keep a couple open beds for those emergency situations, but there's times you just can't, I wanted to mention this before I forget, because I will forget. Mm-hmm. We do mental health as well. So we don't only do substance use, we do mental health. So we have a lot of outpatient clients that come in, see a counselor for mental health, and it may not have anything to do with addiction. It may just be a mental health situation, someone going through depression or anxiety or different things like that. So we offer those services as well on a outpatient basis where you don't live with us. Oh. You walk in, mm-hmm. you may see a counselor once a week, twice a week, something like that. So we offer some of those services as well.
It's basically an office for other needs.
Other needs
can be met also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So as far as like getting people back into the workforce, getting them ready to get a job or anything, is there anything you guys are doing?
That's a great question. And yes, we have a lot of connections in the community with employees. Obviously, most people in Ross County know who I am from my previous life, right, in law enforcement. Right. And we use those connections. So we have a lot of connections with employers, different employers in the community that work with individuals in recovery, that will kind of work with our schedule as well as, mm-hmm. as keeping them in recovery. So we help them. We offer assistance in employment once you're to that phase. We obviously help you get your license back. We help you save some money. We do some budgeting things to help you save some money in order to get a car once you get your license back, get insurance, get all that stuff rolling, so that when you leave us, you're ready. Like right. We help you get housing. When you're ready to graduate, we start looking, once you hit phase 4, we start looking for housing options, whether it be in Chillicothe or in, a community that you came from that you want to go back right. to, either or, So we help with those housing options. We help you get back on your feet. That's the idea, is learning how to live in society again, that clean and right. sober, in recovery. We connect you to those recovery resources, whether it be AANA meetings, whether it be Celebrate Recovery meetings, whether it be churches, community action. Integrated Services provides a lot of services. So there's a lot of areas, a lot of resources, areas of resource in our community that we connect you to as well when right. you're with us, to help you when you get out. You need an electric bill paid. Sometimes we struggle paying bills when you're getting back on your feet, and we know families that go through that all the time. Well, Community Action is a great resource for that. They have some programs that can help. They help you sign up for the PIP program and different things like that. So we get guys connected to those resources before they leave us, so they're not in an emergent situation or a panic or stressful situation right. that causes them to relapse once they get out of our facility. Right.
So education piece, is there anything that you're doing?
So we do. We offer a lot in the way of education. So a lot of our guys come to us without a GED. One of the requirements to graduate our program is you have to have your GED or a high school diploma to graduate. You're more employable. You have sure. the opportunity to be successful. We have a couple guys that is enrolled in college, actually to be counselors. So when you're in our program, if you don't want to get a job, you want to go to college, fine. We'll help you enroll in college. We've worked with and partnered some with the Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center, their adult ed program, and some of the things that they offer, some of the trades that they offer. And so we've had a couple guys. We had one guy that graduated a couple years ago, wanted to be a truck driver. So we helped him get to the truck driving school in Piketon,
Mhm.
got his CDL while he was with us, and when he graduated, got a job as a truck driver, and
Wow.
it's still working as an over the road
Wow.
truck driver today. So yes, the options are limitless on what we can help you do. We have a lot of connections, a lot of resources in the community, and can help you and navigate that ever how you need to navigate it. And a lot of times it's just understanding how to do that, right?
Right.
So
a lot of people just don't have the knowledge or the resources that you have available to
absolutely.
them. So what a rewarding job this is right now.
Oh, it's
because
amazing.
the people you look back and you see that you've influenced their lives and got them on the right path, and that has to be such a huge honor to do that.
It's amazing. I tell people this, and I tell our clients this all the time. So many people in our society measure success on a dollar figure or a bank account, right?
Mm-hmm.
And success isn't that. Success is being able to help individuals every day of your life, living my faith before them, getting the opportunity to help them in their relationship with Jesus Christ, number one. And number two is help them get back on their feet and help them build a solid foundation in this world that continues to thrive because of their faith and those things. And I mean, it's just amazing. When I retired, I never, I always thought about what am I going to be outside of retirement, because everyone knew me as Officer Bud Lytle, or everyone knew me as the announcer, the voice of the township, right? That's all anyone ever knew me as. So how am I going to build myself into something successful outside of that? And to be honest with you, Tanya, I couldn't have found something more rewarding than what I do today. It's amazing the opportunity that God has given me to help these individuals get back on their feet. And I have the best staff in the whole world. I say that. And they are just amazing people that do amazing work and just love guys. That's the one thing we do, is we just love these guys and try to help them understand that their value, because you lose your value in addiction.
Right. I think the first thing to recovery is realizing that you are lovable.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, I say this and to our guys a lot, and there's a lot of key phrases that I use, but I say, the first thing addiction takes away from you is you. Mm-hmm. And it really does. It takes away your dreams, takes away your vision, takes away your relationships, takes away your self-worth, takes away your value as an individual, right to you. Yeah. And so you have to rebuild all of that, and you have to be able to appropriately love yourself before you can love someone else. Absolutely. And teaching guys that they're lovable. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love who you are and where you're at in life. And that's the first thing you have to learn. And then once you can appropriately love yourself, then you can begin loving other people and those people around you that's important to your family and things like that. And ultimately, hopefully that leads to a relationship down the road or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, fantastic. So we appreciate what you're doing, trying to take a small piece in our city and helping it. We really appreciate that. Now, if anybody has any more questions about the Recovery Center, can you tell them where they can find you at online, or a phone number?
Absolutely. So it's really easy. FirstCapitalRecovery.com is our webpage. It spells out everything that we do as a program, our mental health pieces, our substance use pieces, our counselors, and all of that. So that's the first place to look. Phone number 740-773-3272, or you can call my cell phone. Everyone does. 740-703-6075. I put it out there. It's on the window in front of our office, so it's not a big deal. And those are the best ways. Or 242 East Main Street. Just walk in the front door. Walk in the front door. We'll give you a pamphlet. If you don't want to come in that day, or their loved one isn't quite ready yet, we'll give you a pamphlet with information, and we'll make that connection and maybe sustain that connection over time until they are ready.
Yep, develop a friendship and get it ready. Well, we appreciate Bud being with us today. If you have any questions, please reach out to Bud. Thank you so much for what you do in our township and our city.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. All right.